Hey, Blazers Nation, NSL family, hello. It's GM J-Mac from Portland. Had a bit of time, so thought it's pretty quiet in the NSL in this sort of the beginning of the hibernation period where most teams are waiting for free agents. Most teams who had a move to make have already made it, including myself. So we had um, a lot go in, a lot go out. We had a lot of deals sort of sitting and waiting for about a month um, until the site flipped. And I hope the screen sharing because it will make viewing a lot better for you, and it will make keeping track of everything I wanted to discuss a lot easier for me. So I hope you're well. Um, and I just wanted to share in totality what Portland have done um, since the trade deadline last season. And as you can see, there's lots going in, there's lots going out. The most remarkable thing I can see from either of those lists is picks 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 24, 40, 52, 53, and 56 going out. I would have to think this is the only time in history of any sport, any fantasy league ever, where 10 current picks were traded out. Now, I did have to condense. That was a fact. Um, it's easy slash easier to move picks as rights around the draft time than it probably is to move some other players that I had. So that's where it started. The first thing that was moving out was pick 13. So originally it was pick 13. Um, Bill, Herder, Walker, Prosper, Johnny Jazang for Dame, Chris Middleton, and Musa Diabate, and a Phoenix second. So as you can see, it escalated a lot from there. That changed from Jazang into those 2 seconds you can see going out, the 226 seconds. They were going to Phoenix instead of Jazang, who was waived, unfortunately for me, because I had to dip into the pick assets. But that made Lattice whole. That was the second version of our trade. Um, version three, I think version three was where we swapped. That's right. He had pick 27. No, he had pick 24. He had 17 and 24 originally. Sorry, this is where I missed it. And then we swapped that for 13 and 27, which I got from the Jazz in another deal. Um, and then that was version three. And then version four was the Suns keeping Chris Middleton. Um, and I would send 11 to him and Jonathan Isaac, and I would get Brandon Ingram back. So there were four iterations of the Phoenix deal, um, which ended up netting me Lillard, Ingram, um, and pick swap rights and a second. I did get Musa Diabate, but he was moved with Jaden Ivey to the Detroit Pistons for Brandon Miller. So we've got to think of Brandons. We're swooping him up. I'll have to go and check if there's any other Brandons. We didn't want to move Isaac. Lattice swears to me that it wouldn't have happened without Isaac, the Ingram pivot. So that I have solace in that. Um, Once again, I was able to condense. That's kind of the flavor of this whole trade was condensing salary, condensing value. Um, and as you can see, picks 5, 7, and 17 and 24. So 5, 7, 17, and 24 went for Dylan Harper, which on paper looks like a lot. Um, Most people will say, well, you didn't have roster spots to fit them in. And I ended up just getting hooked on Harper and the archetype that I think he will have and can have in 2K and in real life. Um, especially if he keeps those point guard numbers up, minutes up, sorry, and keeps that eligibility. It was a lot to give up. Trey Johnson at 5 looks awesome for the Knicks. Con at 7 looks awesome for the Grizz, who got him at 7. And pick 11 was Carmen Malawach, who looks awesome as a 2K big. So we'll see. It was a big price to pay, but hopefully it allowed us to get a guy with a bit of a high ceiling, and that's kind of the aim of this whole deal. Like to maybe lose out on some value, definitely lose depth, definitely lose diversity, but to condense and like raise the ceiling up a little bit. Um, Obviously, as a real life Blazer fan, it's awesome to see Damian Lillard back. Um, he's probably going to miss the whole year, which I understood. And yes, Beal didn't have a lot of value, but I think Lattice realized pretty quickly that it's hard to trade in this league on a good day, and it's almost impossible to trade 57 mil Dame Lillard um, to pretty much any other team but me. So we had some really fun talks. Definitely bonded over this experience of the stretch and wave, thinking that our deal had fallen apart 3 times, 4 times throughout the process. But crazily enough, got there in the end. So we bank Dame for a year away. Ingram is a guy who I'm really hopeful finally can maybe have a healthier season and has a really good role in Toronto. Like Ingram's always been a secondary piece, secondary scorer for other teams. Maybe that's his ceiling, but I think he'll get a lot of shots in Toronto and he'll have a lot of responsibility. I think he could be their best player. Um, so we'll see. He's the idea of Ingram still probably exceeds what he does in real life and maybe in 2K, but he's super tall, super long. Um, he's got shooting guard eligibility and will for a long time. Even if he doesn't play any guard minutes for the Raptors, he's banked like a heady percentage at shooting guard over the years. So he's going to be a 3 position guy for a while yet, which is really awesome. Um, Brandon Miller, never a guy I looked at, never a guy that I coveted. I really didn't know much about him, but I saw Sheed's trade post about Miller, about him. I knew he was getting Ace Bailey. He's got Thompson, he got Kuzma. He just had to diversify his positions a bit. And Ivy's a guy I think is going to be a weapon in 2K. Regardless of what you think of him, his upside in real life, I think he's in a really good spot in real life in terms of the team he's on. He's just got incredible 2K athleticism. He scored 24 points a game for me last season. Granted, we weren't a great team, but he seemed to be much more vetted than I anticipated he would be. So Sheed took him, and Sheed didn't have a backup center, so he got Diabate, who is like a fun, glitchy 2K big, springy, rebounds, blocks, dunks, everything he was after for a backup. So after a little bit of back and forth, he agreed on that deal, and we have Brandon Miller. So four of our probably our 4 best players are all small forwards, which is not even a problem. We can have depth there. As I said, this is a building roster. Um, but something we'll have to deal with down the line to get some more value at other positions. But all in due time. We paid GMs for Reith. We paid like a minimal amount of GMs for Tyson. I think it was even just 1 or 2. Um, the picks coming in from Charlotte were originally I had traded Craig 24. This is so convoluted. I'm sure you've lost track already. It was 24 and 56 for pretty much a future first and a future second. And then we ran into Stepien issues. There was a bit of a miscalculation of what year picks we could actually move. So we ended up just doing a bit of a shuffle. I was able to get him a Charlotte first back as well. So it's a bit less risky for him than it would be to most other teams. But I was able to get him a Charlotte first back. And you can see a lot of the value that I sent out in terms of current picks. I was able to get a bit of potential, like potential value or like security with some pick swap rights in the future. So the 2028 pick swap rights are between Lakers and Milwaukee first, so they're both likely pretty late. And then 2030 with me is Charlotte. Sorry, is Phoenix and Portland. So that's a lifetime away. But it was, I thought I was giving up a bit of value in the deal, but that was, we were kind of, Lattice and I had kind of exhausted all of our options and we'd already included so many pieces in the trade as it stood. I just accepted the pick swap rights. Um, yeah, so that's us up to date, and we really don't have any other leads. I would talk Ingram and Murray, but not really any discussions out there right now. I think Walker, in terms of the guys I let go, I think Herder is who he is. I think Isaac will be really good for Daz, which sucks. I knew he would end up with Warriors eventually. Daz made some offers. I should have probably gone back to Daz when um, I was close to dealing Isaac to the Suns. I reckon I could have got a bit more value back for me, but that's okay. Yeah, I like Isaac in 2K. Look, Bill's going to score 20, 25 points a game for the Suns this year. But whatever you think of his contract, it's clearly not a value deal. Um, he's a great 2K scorer. So I think that's going to benefit the Suns this year without much more than Damian Lillard's corpse would have. Jaden Ivey was one of my boys, so that hurts a bit trading him. But my advice would be just you just remove the sentiment. It's it's not going to help you in trading. I don't think. It's going to help you in enjoying wins and enjoying team building. But if you're open to moving guys, just try and strip the sentiment away. Um, Max and Prosper, like big athletic guy, has the tools, has the archetype to be a very athletic, big defender. I know Lattice has always liked him. Walker, I think, will get some minutes for um, the Pacers in real life with their kind of in between gap year while Halliburton gets better. Um, yeah, 29 Portland first out. We've got some swap rights on that, so that's a bit of security for us. Um, Hunter Tyson, Duop Reith we just needed some cheap bodies. So yeah, we were able to pretty much with all of that pick cash, which is an incredible amount of picks, the 2025 picks we moved out, like really good picks and a lot of them, and a lot in total. We were able to shuffle a few firsts back to kind of ease the pinch of the roster squeeze. Um, we were able to get bank a few more seconds for the future. Um, really condense um, our breadth of assets into really 4 or 5 or 6. Really a future first, the swap rights, Dylan Harper, Lillard, Ingram Miller. So 5 or 6 assets pretty much out of 15, maybe, maybe moving 15 out. So pretty nuts. And then all that drama where I couldn't do anything in terms of trading because um, I'd obviously had to draft all of the players, and my salary was up over 240 million with all of the cap holds. So cooler heads prevailed, and I was able to piece by piece shift some of those players off, um, and eventually get to a spot where I could put the mega deal together. And thankfully, Lattice and Daz and had helped me sort of get it up on site, and it happened, which is a beautiful thing in the NSL. Greatest fantasy league in the world, and it's amazing when you can see 10 or 11 um, team mega deals like that become a reality. So, as it stands, obviously Dame's out all year. Point guards, I've got Anthony Black, who can play, who probably will be the point guard, but Dylan Harper, he'll get a chance at point guard. Nick Smith Jr., I like him as a backup, especially if 2K likes, I guess, that like three-level scorer, shifty, the Jordan Poole archetype. He definitely leans into that. Um, Harper would start at shooting guard. Struce probably behind him if he's still on my team. Forwards, my core guys, like I really want to see Murray succeed. I think he's been criminally underutilized in Sacramento because they're such a dumpster fire of a team, and I still think his ceiling is like a great defender, which the metrics prove. The tape proves that he guards the pretty much the best opposition player aside from centers every night for the Kings. But his offense is stagnated. His percentages are dropping a bit, have dropped a bit. Sorry. Um, but that first season, like there was 40-point games. He hit 12 threes in a game. I think there's a guy in there. So I put some offers out I thought they were very reasonable offers, and people are still like, oh yeah, his real life situation. So that just screams to me. I've just got to hold and hope that the asset uh, not only increases in value because if he does really well in real life, then I can keep him because I'd love Murray and Flag to be my guys. Um, yeah, for the foreseeable future, and Miller in there somewhere as well. I think Ingram's probably more expendable for us. I've kind of drank the Kool-Aid a little bit with this draft you guys and let them develop and kind of be there on the journey of growth, which I never thought I would say. But it's been fun. And for all those times I bagged out people drafting, sorry. It was very ignorant of me, very judgmental, and I get it. Um, yeah, I really do understand why people value that because it's so hopeful. Um, and like it's not just gambling, like that the analysis part of not only picking the guys who are going to succeed and be talented, but like what fits for your team. Seeing those guys fall, those guys who landed at value picks, like that can change like the fate of a team. So I very much get it. I think since rebuilding, uh, I've become a lot more. Uh, there's a lot more respect for all the walks of life we have in the NSL, and all the different ways people want to grow, tear down, manage, nurture their teams. I get it. I really do. Um, so yeah, we're really excited. I don't know how good we're going to be, but I think we're really talented. We might just not be really impactful in 2K yet. And I just hope Dame holds it together. And we really look forward to having Dame on the team at some point. And I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think anyone would offer me anything worth it or close to it because why would you want all that dead money and no one playing for you? But we're really excited. And I still think he'll be really, really good in 2K. Whether it's the end of this season or the start of next. And yeah, much like Bill, he's overpaid, but um, yeah, he's a gun, and I love him in real life, and it's just going to be fun having him as kind of like the leader of this hopefully really talented, young, capable team, and we'll kind of just fit the pieces around it. So, look, it was pretty self-indulgent in terms of just talking about Portland, but all of our business is done for now. There's nothing on the horizon. Um, Hopefully, you got some insights into the crazy, volatile variations of the trades that we put I put through. Others talked with me to make the mega deal possible. But if there's anyone on that list you like, please come say hi. Otherwise, take care, NSL. Enjoy the off season. Talk soon.